Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Gapyear Mentality Podcast. I'm your host and only host, and the only person who's ever been here, Taryn. And I never did have a co host, and if you think I did, then you're insane and you're imagining things. And I didn't kill her. And she's not in the cargo part of a plane on the way to Martinique right now. Is there even planes to Martinique? That's always the place that they say cruise ships are going to in movies. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. Because that's not where she is. And I never even had a co-host. So you're acting crazy right now. I didn't kill her. Let's get on with the episode. Hi. Welcome back. This is really weird. That was really weird saying the hi part without someone there. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like really sick. Well, I'm at the end of my sickness, so now I'm just like snotty. So I'm gonna try and not do that. I'm gonna try not to do what I just did. Um, so if there's a lot of cuts in this, it's probably because I had to blow my nose and I didn't want you to have to hear it. Episode 22. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like this is episode 22 of the Gap Year Mentality Podcast. I have my roll of toilet paper on standby for. My voice sounds fucking insane. I sound so stuffed up. This is gonna be so annoying. I'm so sorry. Look, I know what you're thinking, okay? I know what you're thinking. Where's the one with the hair? Bring back the one with the hair. I don't know what you're talking about. It's always been me. Just kidding. She is currently on her way back from Montreal. I'm filming this on a Wednesday because I had a whole week to do this. Oh my god, I upload them on Thursdays. I had a whole week to do this, but I was sick and I was putting it off because I wanted to be not sick. And this is the least sick I've been since last Thursday because I was sick. I was sick on Thursday. But I have to get it out because tomorrow I get my wisdom teeth taken out. So when you are watching this, I am probably in bed like moaning and groaning and causing a terrible time for my family because all I do is complain all the time. So it's gonna get really bad when I actually have like an excuse to complain. This is crazy. I can't even like cut this down. I just have to talk, and there's no one to like fill in the blanks. I wrote a lot of stuff down so I wouldn't just like stare at a wall. So if I'm checking my phone, just know that it's for your own good. I was gonna talk about the Met Gala because that happened last week. I think after we filmed it. But as you can tell, I'm wearing the same thing I wore like 4 episodes ago. And I literally wear the same 4 hoodies and biker shorts literally every single day. And I'm okay with that. I think I'm gonna like get rid of all of my clothes. I've decided. Like I have a lot of sweaters and button ups and a lot of t-shirts and a lot of pairs of jeans that do not fit me anymore because I guess I grew. I don't know. I wore jeans and then like I stopped being able to wear jeans because of like just I like sensory stuff. Like this is like the only clothes I can wear because it's the only clothes that I don't notice I'm wearing and don't freak out during the day, which is super awesome. I couldn't even dress nice if I wanted. But just know if I wanted to, I also wouldn't be able to, and that's why I'm not gonna go through the Met Gala stuff. Also because it wouldn't be fun if it was just me. So I'd want Karissa to be there, but also, yeah, because I am the least qualified person ever. This is gonna be so fucking annoying. I'm sorry. I will say that my favorite looks were Anne Hathaway. I love her. Doja Cat. Love her. Lil Nas X's was cool, and Dua Lipa. I like Dua Lipa's. It wasn't that like cool. I just saw that it was like a vintage Chanel or something. It was like a vintage one, and I just like that's something I would wear. So invite me, you know. because I don't need to have good style to go to the Met Gala. I just need to hire someone to have who has good style to style me. That's just how it works. I watched Taxi Driver and Interstellar when I was sick. I was house sitting while I was sick, which was super awesome. I literally okay. I'll mention think of the movies and then I'll go on this tangent. But um, Interstellar and Taxi Driver, both movies I hadn't seen before, and they're on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so I was house sitting and I was like, I gotta do it. Interstellar was good. I cried. It was like, it's not gonna be like my favorite movie ever, but I definitely understand why everyone says it's like one of the best movies of all time. Like, and it's also funny because Interstellar came out when I was alive. Like, I remember that coming out. I was just too young to go see that. I think I was 10 when it came out. Um, but it is crazy how like watching Taxi Driver, I'm like, this was like a big movie when it came out, and it's still a big movie. Like Interstellar is gonna be that. In like a long time, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I remember that coming out. Like I was alive when that came out, and it's like still holds up to this day. Um, so it's good. I'm like deathly afraid of Matthew McConaughey. Sorry, I just like chugged a whole thing of apple juice before this, so I'm just gonna be like, I'm just oh my god, I'm a mess. I'm sorry. Um, my I sound so like my voice is distracting me. Um, but yeah, it was good. Taxi Driver was it was pretty good. It was kind of it was harder to get through. Like I was both of them. I was kind of I wasn't like 100% into it the whole time. But that's also just my um thing. No, I'm not checking texts while I'm doing this. Um, sorry, my family group chat's blowing up, guys. Pictures of my dog again. That's the only thing that gets sent on there. It's just pictures of my dog. Do you even like us, mother? Can you tell I watched the new John Mulaney special? I'm realizing like how much I just like consume so much like comedy content, and then I just start thinking and talking in those inflections. So, I watched the new John Mulaney special because I was like a big fan of. I wasn't like a like I wasn't like one of those. I just watched the three specials that he had on Netflix in like grade 11 that actually like I would watch them like once a week. Just I would put them on whenever I was like anxious or like freaking out or whatever. And I would also put them on to do work, like to do homework. So it was Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 one, such a good movie. Howl's Moving Castle, which maybe I'll insert a picture. My sibling just went to this expo that was in our city, and I was like, "Get me a movie poster." Like it was very anime stuff. It's like entertainment expo because we live in a small city. Um, so there was a lot of anime stuff, and I don't watch a lot of anime, especially not anymore. But so I was like, just see what's there, and they brought me back this like the original Howl's Moving Castle, like in Japanese. It's so beautiful. It's so awesome. So maybe I'll insert a picture of my wall with beside my Metropolis poster and my 2001: A Space Odyssey. Someone's coming downstairs. This is so stressful in my own home. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So, um, I watched those movies. I was house sitting. I was alone. I was sick. All my friends were on trips. Laura Lee just got back from university, so I picked her up from the airport and I we went out to eat and stuff. And I was feeling a little bit sick. I was kind of out of it because I was like, why do I feel like this? Um, I was a little bit out of it, and then I got home and I was just like, and then it was that. So the next day I went over to the house I was house sitting for, and yeah, and it was like I felt like I was in there for like 10 days. It was like 4, I think. I was just fighting for my life. I had to take care of two animals, and I was like using 100% of my energy on like making sure to take care of these animals and not like neglect them because I'm just like in my head the whole time. It's like yeah, so using 100% of my energy to not neglect these animals, but I didn't. I was okay. Um, But I literally went like 2.5 days without talking, and it was just me thinking and getting more and more anxious because so I couldn't breathe out of my nose because I was sick, which means that I was getting less oxygen because I was still trying to breathe out of my nose. So then I was like a little bit lightheaded, or I just felt like tired and weird, and I wasn't getting enough sleep. Like I couldn't sleep for like till like 4 in the morning, and then I would have to wake up at like 9:30 to feed the animals. So I was getting like no sleep. I hadn't been getting sleep the few nights before at home because I couldn't breathe out of my nose. So I was like so sleep deprived, but also so anxious. So I didn't feel tired. I just like my body was just shutting down. So I was like, "What? I don't feel tired. This is so weird." And then it just made me so anxious because I was like, "Oh, I'm dying. I'm literally dying." I was so out of it. And then when I get really anxious, I get derealization, which is so annoying and so scary for no reason, even though I know what it is. Like now I'm fine, which it's so funny because every time I get it, I'm like, oh, this is just the way it's gonna be forever. There's nothing I can do about it. But then when I eliminate the thing that's making me anxious, then it goes away, which is crazy. How a symptom of anxiety goes away when I'm less anxious. No fucking way. But I just like have really. I'm not gonna talk about this forever because it's just me like, um, being like, wah, my life is the worst. I'm fine actually. I just I have really bad health anxiety. Not diagnosed with anything because I don't have a family doctor. So if anyone knows a family doctor, that you can refer to me because literally no doctors are taking patients in my entire city. Believe me. Um, so not diagnosed with anything. A couple months ago, before we went to Vancouver, I went to urgent care because I was like, I don't know what else to do, and I'm like having panic attacks all the time. And they prescribed me meds, and then I took them for 2 days, and they made me super, like, way more anxious to the point where I was like debilitating. I couldn't do anything. So I was like, I can't go on a trip like this, or whatever. Then the night before we flew out, I took one, like, because I was taking them at night because they weren't affecting me sleeping or whatever. Took one at night, woke up at like 2 in the morning or something. My chest was really hot, and I felt like out of like I was like dizzy or whatever. So I ran up to my parents' room. I like barely made it to my parents' room, collapsed on the floor, passed out, which I've passed out before, so like no big deal. Um, but I had to get on a flight in like 4 hours, so I just like slept in the living room and then stopped taking those meds. And then as they wore off, and I was like, I was like on a trip and like doing like fun things and getting exercise and like eating 3 meals a day. Crazy, crazy how that made me less anxious. No way. um, then I felt a little better. I wasn't like cured, but I was back to like manageable levels and not like freaking out. It's because I was really anxious because I was getting migraines all the time, and then I would get them in public, and I would get the ones where I can't like speak or think or type. So that really freaked me out, and I was just afraid that I would get one in public. So every time my vision would get a little bit weird, which happens when I'm not wearing my glasses and stuff, um, or I'd get like a headache or like anything, I would just think I'm having a migraine, and then I would like go into a spiral. um, which would turn into like a panic attack, pretty much. I don't even know if it would be a panic attack. It's just kind of like prolonged, heightened anxiety. I don't know if it's actually a panic attack, but I don't know. It's easier to call them that. Um, but yeah, so then this last week when I was house sitting, I was back to the same level of anxiety, if not more, because I couldn't breathe. Felt like I couldn't breathe. So sick, can't breathe out of my nose, so I feel like I can't breathe. Then I get anxious about the fact that I can't breathe, so then I'm literally hyperventilating, and therefore can't breathe even more, which was super cool and super awesome. And I just felt like so out of it, which that was definitely because I wasn't sleeping. So I finally got Advil cold sinus, which I forgot doesn't work on me, but the nighttime stuff did, just to make me go to sleep. It didn't help me with my sinuses. Um, yeah, I don't think Advil actually works on me. Um, Even the stuff I take for my migraines, it doesn't actually do anything. I think it's just like placebo. Like I'm just putting something in my body, so that I stop panicking about it. But like the symptoms don't go away faster. I don't know. no, I don't need to talk anymore about that. I'll be done with that. But that's just a glimpse into me. I just have really bad health anxiety. Like every time my anxiety gets bad, it's because, like in grade 10 when it was really bad, it was because I was in a health science class and we were talking about diseases all the time, and we'd be shown like graphic pictures. And I just remember feeling nauseous and like lightheaded in that class a lot. I was also drinking a coffee a day, and now I can't even drink tea or I can't even drink brisk iced tea, which I think has 15 milligrams of caffeine in it. Can't even drink that with a meal without um, it affecting me, which is super cool. Um, so yeah, but I don't have a family doctor, so I just have to kind of like ride it out. I don't know. I've been trying to go for more walks. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Look at me with these transitions, not even trying. I in the last one, my obsession of the week, the last episode, my obsession of the week was going for walks at night. I went for a walk or two at that point, I think. At nighttime, it was at like 9 p.m. So like the sun just set like an hour ago, and I was walking around the busy parts of like around my house on like busy, well lit streets, and I go for like an hour, 45 minutes, whatever, with headphones on, which is not safe, but like I'm not going on a walk if I can't have headphones on, you know? Only one of my AirPods work, and I'm not putting in one AirPod to walk. And then I can like hear things around me, and that defeats the purpose. So, you know, I walked. I was by myself, you know, but I wore a big jacket and kept my posture good. Speaking of posture, I have to go to a chiro appointment in like an hour and a half, and my posture has been so bad this week because I've been sick. Um, what was I saying? This is why I need a co-host here, because when I talk, I forget what I'm saying. You know what I was gonna say before? Actually, I'm gonna just go back to the house thing for one more second. When I was talking about, so I couldn't sleep for 3 days. I couldn't sleep for 3 days. I was like freaking out for like 3 days. I didn't talk like at all. And then the one day it got really bad, and then the next morning I was like, okay, I have to like do something about this. So I set up my phone and I recorded myself talking. This was at like 10 p.m. at night. I recorded myself talking for 2.5 hours, I think, or almost 2 hours or something. Just me talking about like all the stuff I was stressed about and like all the stuff that I've been thinking about over and over again for 2 days. And then once I got it all out of my system, I just deleted the recording off my phone because I didn't want to watch it again. It was just like to give me an excuse to like talk at something for like 2 hours. I just deleted it off my phone, and then I was like way better. So I think the lesson in that is I need to be constantly doing something and like walking around with purpose and seeing people and talking all the time, or I literally will go insane. Um, which is good because everyone's starting to come back from trips and from school and stuff, so I'll be okay. I really could not live alone. Like, really, really could not live alone. Which, it's good to know that before I actually, you know, move away. But, the fuck was I talking about before? I transitioned into, oh, the walking thing. So I was walking, yeah, so I was, you know, trying to stay aware of my surroundings. I would just, if I had to cross the street or something, I'd look behind me to make sure no one was following me. I'd watch my shadow, make sure no one's shadow was creeping up on me, taking the necessary precautions, but also not sacrificing um, me listening to Good Kid, Mad City in my headphones really loudly because I'm gonna do what I want to do. And then, so I did that one weekend when my parents were out of town with my dog. But I was like, I should bring my dog because then I'm giving my dog a walk, like an hour-long walk, and like he'll keep me safe. It's nighttime. He's not a small dog. He's a medium-sized dog. He could be scary. Oh my god. First of all, that kid has never walked at night before. So, and he's the most anxious. That is the most anxious dog I've ever seen in my life. He's so anxious of everything, of every car driving by, and it's nighttime, and I'm also like a little bit anxious, which is just not helping. And also, like when I'm walking, I noticed this when I had to walk the dog I was house sitting for too. When I'm walking, I want to just like walk, but like a dog stopping to sniff at everything actually pisses me off, which is so dumb because it's a dog and that's what dogs do. Um, but I'm just like, oh my god, like come on, I'm just standing here, I'm not doing anything. And that is more of a me issue, obviously, because dogs just sniff things and that's what they're supposed to do. But just the fact, yeah, all those things just melded together. It was just an anxious situation, and then I got catcalled twice on my one walk. So I went for a walk before by myself, and then I was like, I'm gonna go with my dog. He'll keep me safe. Catcalled twice. Here's the thing. I don't know if I was catcalled because, like, I don't know for sure because I was wearing my headphones and I blast the music because I don't want to hear anything else. And I was also thinking, this is the reason why I listen to music really loud and don't pay attention to my surroundings in my car, is because, especially like stopped at like stoplights on busy streets and stuff, I don't want people to look at me, and I don't want to make eye contact with people outside my car. And if you drive down streets like that at night, boys in cars will try and talk to you, and I hate that so much, and I don't want to talk to them. So I just kind of tune out everyone, which isn't like safe, but also like whatever. Like, don't talk to me. I hate every time I look out of a window. Like, my friends make fun of me all the time for this. I don't look outside. I don't look around me. But, like, every time I do, people are looking, like, I make eye contact with someone, and I hate that. Because what do? Smile? No. Oh, I just hate it. Don't look at me. So I don't look around, and yeah, my friends make fun of me for it. I don't care, because why would I do that? But yeah, so I had my headphones on, and I was like, I don't want to hear anyone talking, and got catcalled twice. I know I'm almost 100% sure it's catcalling because it was dark outside. I'm wearing shorts. I'm a woman. I'm walking down the street. A car, which I looked at it after it driven kind of far. Men in the car, and I can hear it blasting music, and then I hear a man yell out of the car, and it's only me walking around, and so I can only assume that they're catcalling me because I've been catcalled before. Funnily enough, haven't been catcalled since I was like 12, which is super cool. I was being catcalled at like 11 and 12 years old. Once with my mom in broad daylight, and once with my sibling, who was, if I was 11, was like 7 years old, which was super cool and awesome and made me feel really safe. And then the second one, I was like going to a corner, and they were stopped at the stoplight, and then yelled something straight at me, and I was like, I know you're yelling at me, and I don't want to be a part of this at all. And so I just kept walking, and I'm glad that I had my headphones on, actually, because I don't want to know what they said. I can just keep it at, they catcalled me, and it could have been just saying hey, and it could have been something really gross, and I don't want to know if it was something really gross, because then I would have to think about that. And now I just have to think about, they might have yelled something at me. Just really gross. I haven't gone on a walk like that since, because I don't want that to happen again. Which really, really sucks, because that was so fun, and it was like really good for me. The first walk I went on, I was anxious. I went for a walk. I came back. I felt better. And I was like, wow, crazy what fresh air and exercise and time to just chill out and not rot in your room does. And then I was like, I'm going to start doing this. And then I was like, and I'm going to take my dog along. And then I got catcalled twice. And I was like, suddenly I don't feel safe anymore. This is why people say don't walk at night. Well, that's not why. There's a lot of worse things that could have happened. But that's the thing, is I don't want to chance it again, because Why can't I walk around at night? I passed plenty of men walking their dogs. They probably do it every day. They probably go, oh, well, and it's hot outside. I don't want to go outside now and go for a walk with my dog because it's hot, it's bright, there's kids outside. I don't want to do that. If I go at night, it's just the sound of cars rushing by. I love this look at the city streets at night. I love the temperature that it gets right after the sun sets in like the spring and the summer when it's 20 degrees in the morning and then it's like 18, 17 degrees at night and it's like perfect. I can wear a hoodie and I'm not sweating. This is awesome. But no. I don't know. So I might keep going. I might go like right at sunset where it's like, you know, shut the fuck up. Pisses me off. Ugh. This goes by a lot slower when there's not two people. Because whenever me and Karissa do it, I'm like, that was already an hour. Like I feel like I said nothing, and now it's like all I can do is talk, and no jokes are being made, which is cool. Any jokes I can think of? I wrote down this one. Um, what was it? I wrote this down like a week ago. Oh, I got that summertime swagness. That's not a joke, but I just wrote it down so I would remember. Um, that would be a play on the Lana Del Rey song. But instead of sadness, swagness. I got that summertime swagness, which is true. It is true, actually. I do. I do. Um, right before I got sick, like the day before I got sick, I saw this video. It was like a TikTok or Instagram reel. Fucking hate TikTok. I'll talk about that after. Oh, and it was like, just take a moment right now to appreciate the fact that you don't have a sore throat. Because whenever you have a sore throat, all you're thinking about is, I wish that I didn't take for granted when I didn't have a sore throat. And I said, you know what? That is actually true. I'm glad that I don't have a sore throat right now because that would suck. And then literally, I don't know if it was that night, but it was definitely the next day. I got a sore throat, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I got a sore throat, and then I started getting sick. And I was like, no, you're fucking with me. Because I never get sick, that's the thing. So I think that TikTok literally put a curse on me, and that's only one of the reasons why I hate TikTok. What's other one? What's the other one? What are the other reasons I wrote down? My mouth is so. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I just hate it. It's like you know what I hate on TikTok? Because I've been going on it more, which sucks, but it's because I've been so anxious and so I need like content. Like it's just a really quick fix for like if I'm thinking too much. And if I get put in a room by myself or a house by myself and nothing is playing at me, if there's not like two sources of media playing at the same time at me, then I'm allowed to think, and then when I think, that's when I start manifesting physical symptoms, and then I think that I'm dying, and then I get more anxious, and then I freak out, and I have to like text people about it, which I hate being vulnerable. Fucking sucks. Um, yeah. Yeah. But I just hate it. I hate you know what I hate? That's what I say. Hate the wall of text TikToks with that stupid fucking sound. I wish that I could block sounds on TikTok. It's just like it's like strings or something, and it's just people use it with the wall of text, and they just like say something. I'm like, this is not. I hate it so much. I scroll past so fast. I wish I could block that sound. And I went on the sound to see if there's an option to block it, and then the algorithm is like, you like it? You like that sound? You checked it out. You looked at it. You pressed a bunch of buttons. You really like it? You are gonna love all these videos we're gonna recommend to you with this sound, and that are all just a wall of text of people being like, I think it's just like crazy how like I like shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Go post on your Instagram story. That's what I do. I'm not much better. I post blocks of text on my Instagram story, but it's just my followers who see that and then they unfollow me. Believe me, they unfollow me. Um, every time I post on my story, I lose a follower. Love it. I love it. I just hate it. I hate the wall of texting. And it's gotten to a point where, because Instagram, I would scroll on Instagram for a little bit and then I'd be like, this sucks, I'm bored. And then I'd go to YouTube and I'd be like, well, I've read it, I've watched all the videos that people I'm subscribed to have uploaded. I'm done. I'm over it. And then I started going on TikTok because I was like, this algorithm is fucking crazy, and it knows what I want, and it'll show that to me, and I'll be on here for hours. And now, it's like not even like I scroll on it, and I'm like boring, boring, wall text, wall text, wall text, boring, boring, boring. I don't like this, and then I'm like, fuck, I don't need to go in here. Then I leave. So now, TikTok, the thing that is like notorious for having the best algorithm that will glue you in or whatever and keep you occupied, isn't even enough for me. It's not even enough like dopamine rush. That's how fucking like that's how fucked up my brain is that I need more. Um and yeah, I've just been, oh my god. I'll talk about this when I do obsession of the week. I'll save that for obsession of the week because I have a lot to say. I'll probably do that a little bit earlier because it'll take a while for me to explain my obsession of the week. It's like it's bad. It is embarrassing and it's debilitating. Like I'm not even joking. I yeah. Um what I will say, so I think a couple weeks ago, like definitely more than like two episodes ago. This I always feel like I'm like dipping someone or doing like you know, you're just too good to be true. That's always how I feel with this thing. Just Um. Oh, okay. A couple episodes ago, my obsession of the week was Lavender Buds by MF Doom and also April Showers by the Blackbirds, which is the song that Lavender Buds samples. So I'm going to explain to you this like train of thought um, of how I found this. So a lot of like music I find is it's recommended to me. I hear it somewhere. I'm like that's good, or it's in like the recommended. If if I have a playlist, I'll go to the bottom and go recommended songs. I'll listen to them, try and expand my horizons or whatever, my musical horizons. But I was thinking the one day I was listening to my music, I was thinking about how there's a couple songs that I found simply from looking up the word lavender in like grade 10. Like some of my favorite artists to this day are like I found through just looking up the word lavender. Because I don't know, that's my favorite smell. That was my favorite color in like grade 10. And also that was during pandemic, so I was just like looking for new music and like so fucking bored. So I looked up the word lavender. That's how I found Q, which is like he's one of my favorite artists. Go listen to Soul Percent, his new album. Um, it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn. He's so consistent with his stuff. He's so consistent. I really like his music. But I found him from just looking up Lavender. He has a song called Lavender. That's my favorite song for a while. Um, Laundry Day. I don't think I found Laundry Day through that, but I started listening to them more seriously because I found that, and I was like, oh, I remember these guys. That was a while ago. There's a couple. Dreamer Boy, who I don't really listen to that much anymore, but I had a phase where I listened to a lot of Dreamer Boy because he has a song called Laughter. But so I was thinking this, right? I was like, that's funny. I made a little playlist, and then I looked it up. I looked up Lavender again to see, if there's any new ones, and Lavender Buds by MF Doom came up, and I hadn't listened to MF Doom at all. I was getting into rap, as you can probably tell from the span of the last or most of the episodes. I've been getting more into rap seriously. And I was like, I should probably listen to him because I remember the news about him dying and stuff. and people talking about how good his music is, and I was like, I should, you know, I listened to it because I was like, hey, Lavender, and I was like, this goes off so hard, this rules. So then I started listening to more of his stuff, and so I've been listening. It's been a lot of Tyler the Creator and MF Doom recently. So that got me into MF Doom, and then I went on Genius because I was like, this isn't what he sounds like. So it's obvious, and I found it, the Herb and Spices or whatever it's called, and I knew it was all like sample pack kind of stuff. So I looked at the sample and I was like, whoa, this is like an actual song, and it's like a long song. So I like it. I think I like that one better because it's like a full song. It's not just a loop. It's longer. It's better for longer. So I've been listening to April Showers by the Blackbirds since then. So I didn't find this from like TikTok. I didn't find this anywhere. It wasn't like becoming a popular song and then I found it, I started listening to it. So keep this in mind, okay? I also looked at the Blackbirds, their Spotify. I don't know if they're really popular. I didn't check like how many listeners they have. I don't think I had ever heard of them before finding this song. But if you go on their Spotify, April Showers isn't even in their top 5 most popular right now songs, right? And I didn't recognize any of the other ones. So that episode, I posted that episode. I also posted on my story, my Receiptify, and it had Lavender Buds by MF Doom, or it had Lavender Buds and April Showers, I think. April Showers was on my Receiptify, okay? I posted on my story. There's proof, okay? And then I was listening to Emergency Intercom, the podcast, and at the end of their episode, they always do Media of the Week, which is an absolute ripoff of Obsession of the Week, and definitely not the other way around. I definitely didn't come up with Obsession of the Week because I wanted to do Media of the Week but didn't want to steal it. Definitely not. And Enya, when she's talking about her music that she's been listening to, she said April Showers by the Blackbirds, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are the odds of that, And I was like, that's crazy. And I was also like, wow, I have really good music taste because, like, they have really good music taste. But I was like, that's actually crazy. And part of me was like, that's my song. That's my thing. But I was also like, whatever. It could just be, coincidence. Then I'm on Instagram. And my friend Katie posted on her story. And it's a collage of, like, March or whatever. And the song that she chose to put over it was April Showers by the Blackbirds. And I was like, what the fuck? That's my song. I posted it on my story. I said it in my podcast a couple weeks ago. That's my song. So I saw it, I swiped up and I was like, wow, great song. Love that song. I wasn't gonna be like, hey, bitch. That's my fucking song. I remember I posted it on my story first, so I win. So delete this. I didn't say that because that would be batshit insane. Instead I just was like, what the fuck? Because that's my song. I didn't even, I found it through such, like, ways that have nothing to do with, like, stupid TikTok. Like, the way there's a lot of other songs, like Lovers Rock by TV Girl. I've been listening to more TV Girl because I had been listening to Jordana, because she opened for Remy when I went in Toronto in October. I was listening to her and the TV Girl album, and then I was like, I should listen to more TV Girl. But I think that's because it got recommended to me, and that's probably because that sound was blowing up on TikTok. So that, I understand. That's Spotify getting an influx of people listening to the song, and therefore, recommending it to me, and me being like, this is a good song, actually. So that's fine. You know what's not fine? Is everyone else listening to April Showers by the Blackbirds when I did it first. It's fine, though. It's fine because I posted it on my story first. And is this gatekeeping? A little bit. But it's also, like, can't be kept. Everyone's already, broke through the gate and grabbed it and took it for themselves. Um, this is me saying that Enya from Emergency Intercom stole my song, my favorite song of the spring. Um, so she probably listens to this. So Enya, if you're watching, don't fucking do that again. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But another branch of this is, as I was saying, I got into MF Doom from listening to Lavender Buds, and then I started listening to the rest of his music, and obviously Rap Snitches is one of his most popular songs, and it's one of the best. It's such a good song. So it makes sense that I would listen to it and like it and that it would be popular. But literally around the exact same time, that little instrumental live Rap Stitches thing starts blowing up on TikTok. And that pisses me off because I hear it everywhere and I'm like, I'm gonna get sick of the song and don't fucking do that to me. Um, so that one I'm like, I understand. You know, I'm not gonna say they stole it from me. I'm gonna say, why does it have to get popular when I start listening to it? Like, why does it have to become more like viral? Not popular, but like viral. And again, and this is the worst part is that with that, if I play it in my car, which I had been doing for like months at this point, if I play it in my car, I have the windows down and I'm like, wow, everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's a song from TikTok. She found that song from TikTok, which is so stupid because no one actually cares about me and no one is just like out like observing me and being like, damn, I know everything about her and I'm creating an opinion on her. And you know what? I was gonna say that I do that about other people, but I actually don't because I don't pay attention to other people in public. I really don't. I really don't care about anyone else but myself. And that is a big flaw of mine, but it ties in with me being super anxious. So you literally can't be mad at me about that. Um, but yeah, it's just like embarrassing because that's like a really good song, and it would have been cool for me to listen to it like 2 months ago, played in my car, and they're like, damn, that is a good song. She's got good taste. And now it's like, damn, she found that from a TikTok audio and probably looked up TikTok song rap snitches on Spotify and found it. No, I didn't. No one cares. Nobody cares, and this is a non-issue, and I'm okay. And you know what's a good song by MF Doom? One Beer. That's a good song. What's another one? What's the other one I was listening to today? Get the fuck out of my face. My music taste is, I think it's getting better. Okay, I'm. I've been putting work in. Okay, I've been putting work in to have a better music taste, and I think that it is. Oh, Fancy Clown. I've been listening to Mad Villainy, just the album too. Yeah, so I've been trying to listen to more albums. I bought Good Kid, Mad City on CD. I've been listening to Mad Villainy. Um, and I always go back to the Forever Story. I yeah, I'll listen to that in full, like whenever I'm working or whatever. A good fucking album. Um, but my music taste is getting better, I think, and I'm excited for the summer when I have better music taste because I just always want aux. I always want people to let me aux. Um, Mostly because a lot of people listen to like a lot of my friends listen to like kind like not sad music but more like toned down music, and when I'm with friends at all I always just want it to be like full turnt, you know? Turnt? That's an interesting word I don't think I've ever said out loud. Um I just want it to be like, Angel by Shaggy. It Was Me by Shaggy. Just Shaggy songs. I love Shaggy. Those two songs are some of the Angel by Shaggy. I talked about this in the last episode. I forgot. I won't go into that again. It's one of the greatest songs ever made. I love that song so much. Um, I just want it to be that level, of like, you know. That's why I can't listen to the 1975. Um, I shouldn't have said that. People are gonna get mad at me. I can't listen to Dijon in 1975, and I don't know if it's because I don't like their music or if it's just because I need to be different, and I chose those two things to not steal from Karissa so that I could be different. But then now it's like it's embarrassing for me. I don't know. I really do have need to be different. Oh, I also shaved my head again. I didn't even mention that. I shaved my head last night. It was all colorful and it was growing out, and I just wanted it to be blonde so I can start growing it out. Yesterday, I was bored. I had nothing to do, so I said to my sibling, "Do you want to go out and get hair stuff? We don't have to like do it now, but like we'll just go before the beauty supply store closes or whatever." So I got hair dye for them, which we'll do probably next week or whenever I'm recovered from wisdom teeth stuff. Oh, I thought for a second I thought my chiro appointment was at 5, and I was like, oh, I have to leave in so soon. I'm okay. Um, yeah, and so I got bleach. I got bleach cream and developer, which I've always just used like manic panic stuff, which is fine. It's okay, but it's also I feel like it's kind of more expensive, especially with my hair like this. I'm like I don't need that much. Like I threw in a lot of bleach. I made more than I needed. Um, but now I feel like a little hairstylist. Like I have two different levels of developer and like a bleach cream and like an actual toner, and I have a bunch of little things. I have a thing you mix it in. I'm like a professional now. I shaved most of my own head, and then I just had to get my mom to get the back. And then I was gonna just leave my natural hair color for a bit, and I was just gonna let it grow a little bit more, because this is how much I had to cut off to get all the color off. I could have been a little bit longer, I think, but um, I have shitty clippers. So I was just gonna let it grow out for a little bit longer and then bleach it, so I wasn't bleaching like this much hair. But then I was like, I want bleached hair. I don't want dark hair. So I did this last night. Um, and it is shorter. It's definitely like shorter than it was before, which is good. I think this is a better shape, like buzz cut, than what I had before. But it is gonna take a while to grow out, and I'm gonna have like frosted tips, which is kind of sick. I'll spike it up and stuff. Um, before I get into obsession of the week, who the fuck is Jerma? Like, actually, who the fuck is Jerma? Every comment section that I go into on TikTok, on YouTube, mostly TikTok, it's like, this is so Jerma coded. Who the fuck is Jerma? And how are Jerma fans in every comment section? I don't even know. Streamer, YouTuber, like influencer. I don't know. TV personality. I don't know. I don't want to look it up because I don't want to get recommended more fucking German stuff. Who? I don't. I don't know who that is. I don't know who this man is. I've never seen a picture. I've never seen a video. I've literally only. I only know the lore about this person from comment sections, TikTok comment sections. Who the fuck is Germa? This is so Germa coded. OMG, this is so Germa. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to figure it out. I really don't. I just want it to stop. I just want it to stop so bad. It's like crazy at this point. I go into a comment section, top comment is always, this is so Germa coded. And you know what? I'm gonna out myself here. I'm gonna out myself a little, and I'm gonna go into obsession of the week. My obsession of the week, and this is like debilitating, and it has been like the last week and a half. Debilitating obsession with watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Debilitating. I watched the first season, or most of the first season, a couple months ago, maybe like 6 months ago. And I was like, it's a little bit too much, like, just offensive humor for me. You know? I was like, not super into it. I was like, it's fine. Like, I can tell what they're doing, but it just seems like, just offensive humor, just like edgy stuff. I was like taken aback. I was like, no. And then I got sick. I got a cold, and I was like, whatever. I just want like a TV show to watch. Started watching it again. I've watched 12 seasons in a week. Yeah. In like, in a week. What day is it today? Wednesday? Yeah. 12 seasons in a week I've watched. It's bad. It is debilitating. Genuinely debilitating. If you follow me on Letterboxd, if you don't follow me on Letterboxd, go in the description. Go to my Instagram. Go to the link in my bio. Go to my Letterboxd. Follow my Letterboxd. If you follow my Letterboxd though, and you've been noticing that I haven't been watching a lot of movies recently, that's because I've literally only been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, it's bad. I'm either watching it or I'm thinking about it, or I'm watching YouTube videos about it, or I'm watching other movies that Charlie Day is in. And it's so unbelievable. This also happened with Hive Mind like 2 months ago. I have like really weird, like, I don't know if it's like addictive personality or if it's just like dopamine. Like, I don't have a lot of dopamine or something, serotonin, whatever. Where if I find something that I like, there's a lot of content on it, I will consume it and only consume it and only think about it and only be able to. This also happened with Miles Teller last summer. I would only watch Miles Teller movies and I would only think about his movies and him in Top Gun, and I could only bring myself to consume content with him in it. And I hate it. I literally hate like I hate the way that it's like I'm trapped in my own brain or trapped in my own body. Like, I literally stopped watching an episode to film this. Like, I was watching an episode up until I was like, okay, I should probably film this. It's like I watched one before this. I'm gonna stop recording. I'm probably gonna watch the rest of the episode. I'm gonna go to the chiropractor. I'm gonna come back. Probably gonna keep watching it. And then before I go to bed tonight, I'm probably going to watch It's Always Sunny. It's so debilitating. But the show is good though. The show. What some things I've noticed about the show. So I thought it was just like relying on edgy comedy, which in the early 2000s whatever it kind of was. But as I keep watching, every episode is like you start feeling for the characters. You start feeling empathy for characters the way you do in every other show. But then they're such bad people that it always ends with them losing. Like, they never get ahead. And so at the end of you're like, aw, and then it ends with, you know, just they don't get what they want every single time. And it's like, oh yeah, right. They shouldn't have because they're shitty people. And it's crazy how they can create empathy amongst like the viewers, like to empathize with the characters and like attach themselves to these characters when they are literally like written to be the worst people in the world, which is so evident with like TikTok edits of the show. I'm like, what are we doing? Why did you make this? Why am I watching this? Um it's like the literally the worst people in the world. Um who are just like constantly just being like hateful and like bigots and like the worst people in the world, and it's like, I love him. He's so cute. Like, this is insane. This is crazy. And this and whenever I'm stuck in this like weird um obsession, I don't want to say hyperfixation because again, I don't have a family doctor, so I can't be thrown around terms like that. Um but something's up with this. That's fine. Whenever I have one of these, I just think back to like my Five Nights at Freddy's phase, which was probably the first like, oh god, like this is all encompassing and all I think about and all I consume. I didn't even play the game that much. It really wasn't about the game. It was about the fan fiction. It was about the community. Um, Man, fan fiction is fucked up. I cannot believe that I was exposed to that. Kids should not have iPhones till they're 16. Kids should not have access to the internet till they're 16. Like, if you would have told me that when I was 12, I would have literally freaked the fuck out. But you telling me that now, I'm like, I wish I was just learning what the internet was. That would have been so much better for my brain. Whatever. But it's like, and I started the, like, me and Karissa started the obsession of the week. I came up with the idea because I was like, I literally do, usually during the week, or like once a month at least, we'll have like an obsession. Whether it's like a food or a song or a movie or a show or some other content or thing or whatever. I will have like an obsession where like I can't do anything else, can't think of anything else, can't eat anything else for like a week. And I haven't really had one for the past few weeks. It's just been like songs that I like and, stuff that I've done. But oh man, this week this week has been, it's debilitating. It's really like, and it's funny because I know the way my brain works, but I don't know how to stop it yet. So I'm like, it's also not hurting anyone. It's just kind of like creating this. I just feel gross. I'm just like, why can't I do anything else? Why can't I think about anything else? So I just have to keep. I'm just powering through this. I'm like, hey, there's a finite amount of episodes. Okay, I'm just gonna watch till the end. Then I'm gonna watch all the podcast episodes, rewatching and talking about them. And then the new season will come out, and I'll watch that somehow, and then I'll be out of content, and then it'll be over. That's what happened with Hive Mind. I binged pretty much every single one of their videos for like a month straight, and I didn't watch anything else. I was barely watching movies. I wasn't watching any TV shows. I was barely watching anything else on YouTube. It was just Hive Mind videos, just back to back. And then I ran out, and now I just watch them when they come out like a normal person and sometimes rewatch them. And I have a normal, healthy relationship with this thing that I like. And this is not healthy right now. It's not healthy. I also can't watch TV shows in general. Like, even like 10-part series, whatever, I will start it, I will get like very focused on it, and I will do nothing until it's over. Which usually means that I sit down and instead of watching like 5 movies in a night, I watch an entire season of a show, of like a limited series where like every episode is like 40 minutes and there's like 7 episodes or whatever. And then by the end of the night, I'm like, what did I just do? Like, I feel like garbage. I just sat here and like was in another world for like 10 hours and I hated it. And that sucks, but you know what sucks even more? When you have 15 seasons of a TV show to watch and so much free time because you're sick and in a house alone and you only have one friend in the city, but you're sick so you can't see them. So I'm like shaking, it's whatever. It's, yeah, it's not good for me. So that's my obsession of the week, is It's Always Sunny. Another thing, which because Chris is not here, I'll give myself a second obsession of the week. Is Jeopardy TikToks. The Jeopardy account on TikTok. I just love trivia. So they just, it's just clips from Jeopardy, and then I guess along, and I go, "You fucking stupid idiot! You idiot! You are so dumb. You're so dumb. I got that one from my bed, and I'm here and I'm sitting in bed alone, and I got it right, and you got it wrong, loser." I just love trivia. Any excuse, any opportunity to do trivia makes me really happy. I have 3 movie trivia games, or I have a book and then I have 2 games just sitting there, because who's gonna do it with me? Like, I have so much movie trivia, I have no one to do it with, besides like maybe my mom. But she'll beat me, so I'm not playing that bitch. Sorry. That was a joke. I immediately regretted that. I have a lot of movie books too, actually, which I should probably read instead of just like putting on my shelf and being like, yeah, I have a lot of books about film, a lot of reading on film. It's like, no one is reading those things. Um, cut this out, bitch. You fucking slut bitch freak. Yeah, I could probably wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. If you got through, that's crazy that I just talked for an hour. It's not crazy for me to talk for an hour, but it is crazy that I am allowed to upload this after I just talked for an hour. That was actually nice. That was nice for me. That was good for me. If you're watching this the day it comes out or the day after, I'm probably in bed with my wisdom teeth out. Yeah, right now I'm gonna go to the chiropractor. I'm gonna maybe go see a movie with Laura Lee, hopefully. There's like no really good movies out that I haven't seen, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. Then tomorrow I get to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and eat a meal because I can't eat for 8 hours before my wisdom teeth removal. And I also can't drink water for 8 hours before my wisdom teeth removal. That's gonna fucking suck balls. That's gonna suck ass and balls and everything. Everything down there. So, keep me in your prayers. I'm like not nervous about it. I was really nervous about it, and then I looked up if it's dangerous, and then they said no. And I'm also not getting like full anesthesia and zonked out. I'm getting IV, which I fucking hate IVs. That's gonna be the worst part. I've never got one. I just hate the idea of it. But I hate the idea of them doing IV to take my blood out. But I think if they're putting stuff in, I hate that less. And also, I realized that I was like, I'm gonna be so anxious, and then it's gonna be the worst. And then I realized that the drugs they give you is to make you less anxious and go to sleep. And so I'm like, oh, I'm getting anxiety medication pumped into my bloodstream, and then I get people to wait on me for like a week while I don't have to do anything else but complain. That rules. That's literally awesome. So, yeah. I was gonna say drinking out of a straw, but I can't drink out of a straw because I can, like, the blood clots or something. I'm gonna be being spoon-fed applesauce for a week, which will be really cool. But I'll have all my wisdom teeth out. Hopefully my migraines will go away, and I won't have all this fucking jaw pain all the time, and I don't know. Maybe it'll, like, chisel my cheekbones, and I'll be, like, really, like, maybe all this, like, cute little baby fat will just go away, and I'll be, like, adorable and, like, chiseled and, like, hot as hell. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Karissa is back, tonight, which means next episode, it'll be both of us. So tune in next episode. Karissa will talk about Montreal. I'll talk about my wisdom teeth and a bunch of other stuff that happens in the next week because people are coming back. We're gonna try and get our friends on in the next few weeks because Laura Lee's back, Carson's back. Farron and Rowan are in Paris at the moment. They're in their Europe trip, so they won't be back for a while. But when they get back, we will definitely have them on, and some other friends, maybe. We will have to figure out how to film outside though, because there's no room in the dungeon, and also we don't want people to have to go to the dungeon to record. So we'll have to find a secondary location to take them to. Again with the John Mulaney stuff. I'm so sorry. Okay. Bye.
Ow. Oh. 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 Oh.